The other day, I was actually cruising through the Band in the Box Facebook page, and someone asked a question about favorites and how can they keep track of styles that they like. Now, it's tons of styles in Band in the Box. It really is, right? And I recommend actually going through, spending some time and going through and figuring out which styles you like. But how do you keep those styles? Well, someone even made the suggestion of getting a pencil and paper out and writing a style down. While you can do that, there's an automated way of doing this where you can actually create favorites, save favorites, recall favorites, and all with the click of a mouse button in the menu. So hang with me while I'll show you how Henry marks favorites, saves favorites, and recalls favorites in Band in the Box without pencil and paper. Okay, so hold on one second. Okay, so like I said, we got Band in the Box open right now. We're going to do some favorites. We're going to save some favorites, right? And we're going to do it without pencil and paper, okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to our style. We're going to pick a style. I go to Style Picker, and we're looking at Style Picker right now, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play some styles and just kind of figure it out. So I did a sort here, and I'm going to sort this, my first batch of styles, and I'm going to do 2 of each style. My first batch of styles is going to be disco, because I'm a disco guy, right? So let's just play a couple. So we'll play a couple. Let's just do this up-tempo soul wah-wah guitar. It's okay, so let's just stop that. But I like to load the demo for the song when I do it, because I want to hear that. Now, see how much better that sounds? So I'm gonna save that as a favorite. I really like the way that sounds, right? So I'm gonna right click on this style, and I'm gonna set highlighted style, which this is the highlighted style, and I'm gonna highlight it as a favorite. So now that's one of my favorite, and notice what happens when I did favorite. The letters FAV showed up in front of the style, which shows that that's a favorite. Now, let's pick a second disco style. Let's do disco, funky disco. I don't know, I just picked that. Okay, but I want to load the demo and see what the demo sounds like with that, because that gives me kind of more of a realistic feel of what it might sound like. Yeah, it's okay. But for practical purposes here, I'm going to save this as a style again. Disco, funky, disco. So notice I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to set it as a favorite. So now it's highlighted as a favorite. So now out of all of these styles I got here, right? And again, I'll go through, because especially if I'm doing something that's disco, I might just save like 20 of these things. But for practical purposes here, I'm only going to do 2. So I do that, and what happens next is I cancel out. I'm going to cancel out, and I'm going to go to my style, and I'm going to open up my favorite styles, and those 2 styles are there. I've got my Uptown Soul style wah-wah guitar, and I've got my funky disco style. So those are already saved now. So when I need to go do this next time, and I want to do something that's disco funky, right? I don't need to go to the style picker, because I already found a couple of styles I like, and I can pull these right out, and I am off and running. So the next thing I'm going to do is I did disco. So now I'm going to do country contemporary. So let's try country contemporary. So I'm going to do Paris Modern Country Rock, might be a pretty good one. Let me pick that one. But again, I'm going to load the demo for the song out. I always like to do that and listen to it. Well, that sounds the same. Anyway, so I'm going to save this again. Nothing saved here, so I'm going to right click. I'm going to set it as a favorite, and notice the FAV comes in front of it. So let's just pick one other. Shining Pop Hell Guitar. Let's try that one. Kind of like that, actually. But I'm going to see if what the demo might be a little different. Let's see what the demo sounds like. Kind of like a bit of a key change, but it's okay. So again, I like that. I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to save that as a favorite. Now when I cancel out, and I go to my favorites window, I'm going to have 4 styles in that window now. I'm going to have the 2 disco styles and the 2 country styles. I'll do one more set just to solidify. So now let's try reggae. I'm going to go and I'm going to pick reggae. Let me see if I can move this over here. I want it to show up in the window. See if it shows up in the window here. So I'll do reggae. So let's just do reggae. See what we get here. Let's do up-tempo reggae. Well, that's definitely up-tempo reggae. Let's see if this is even any better. That sounds like a key change. But it's okay. So we just save this as reggae. Again, we go right-click. We're going to save it as a favorite. And let's pick a second one just for now, which would be kind of nice. Let's do, we just, instead of looking all over the place, let's just do free now reggae and R&B ballad. Try that. That's going to be slow. It's only 65 BPMs. And that I don't like. But anyway, just for practical purposes, right? You know, I'll let it go for now for practical purposes. That's okay. And I'm going to save that as a favorite. And now when I cancel out, I have 2 disco songs, 2 country songs, and 2 reggae songs in my favorite styles window. And here they are, all 6 of them. Now this is where it gets interesting at. As you go through and you start auditioning styles, I might spend a half an hour just going through disco styles, and I may pick 20 disco styles alone. So you can imagine how this window is going to get filled up. If I pick 20 disco styles and 20 soul styles and 20 pop styles, this window will get real full, right? And I can actually move these around. I can move them up, I can move them down. That's not the important thing here. The important thing here is that when you start talking about 20, 30 styles you like and so on and so forth, right? You need some type of organization in mind. You got to have an organizational method. So that's where what they call sets come into play, right? So what I'm going to do is I always save the entire set, which is all of the styles that I like. So I go save set here, and I put them in the root directory of Band in a Box. I don't know whether it will go somewhere else or not, but I just put it in the root directory, right? And I'll just call it all styles. All styles, which is what I have here. So now I can pull all of these styles back in at any time. If I hit the clear button, all the styles are gone. If I load the set out and I want all 6 of these styles back, I load the set, I go to BB, I scroll down, and all styles, and all of them are going to show up. Boom, there we go. So that's all the styles now, right? But I want to divide them by category. So now I'm going to take and just keep the disco ones. I'm going to do disco. And I only have 2 disco styles in here. Like I said, if it's me, I may have like 30 of them in there, right? But I'm only going to do 2 disco styles. I'm going to have save set. I'm going to go to BB. I'm going to scroll down, just to a white space. I don't want to put them in a subdirectory, right? And I'm going to call these disco. I'm going to save that. That set is saved. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to load my entire set out of all styles. And I'm going to get rid of the disco. And I'm going to get rid of the reggae. And I'm going to save a country set. Go back to BB. And I'm going to save a country set. Remember, the extension of the file is FST. So country. So now I have a country set. I'm going to go back again, clear. I'm going to load the entire set out. And I'm going to go to my all styles, and I'm going to only do reggae. And I'm going to save the set. And under the same directory, I'm going to call this reggae. And that's that. So now, if I want to do a country song, I can go, because I've already done my research. I've spent a few hours, going through different styles, right? So now if I want to do a country song, I'll just go to Style and I'll say Open Favorite Styles, and I'll load my set out of country styles. Load set, go to my directory where my saved FST files are, and open country, and guess what? And there are my 2 country songs. Same thing, if I want to do a disco number today, I want to look at my disco styles. I'm thinking disco, I want to go to club tonight, I'm thinking that mood all day long. I'm going to load my set out, I'm going to go BB, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to load out my disco, and notice only my disco tracks are there. So that's the key. Again, loading out all of them. I want to load out all of them. And it's important to load out all of them. You don't do all this work and not have them all available to you, right? Just load out all of them, and those are all of my styles. And again, me personally, right, if it's my directory, I may have 40 styles in it that I've been through, painstakingly went through, right? But I always save the entire set, and then I parse the set according to how I want it organized. Like I said, whether it's disco, whether it's funk, whether it's soul, whether it's reggae, whether it's country, that's how I do it. So see, so that's a whole lot easier, isn't it, than sitting with a pen and paper, right? Because remember, as far as favorites go, if I go to Style Picker, look, I only picked, in reggae, I only picked 2 favorite styles out of all of these styles. So in order for me to do that again, I would have to look through all of these styles. I don't want to do that. And this is where favorites comes into play. So again, Style, favorite styles, and your favorite styles, which are the ones that you have already selected as favorites. And if you look at Style Picker, they start with FAV, and you're off and running. Like I said, no pen, no paper, you're all set. I hope this helps you guys out in organizing your favorites so you can actually create songs a bit faster. Again, this is Henry Clarke, Senior Musicians Unite, and I will see you guys later. Bye.